Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Gordon Frayne and today we are diving into the world of DeFi and answering the question of what is DeFi, otherwise known as Decentralized Finance. However, as always, before we dive into the topic of the video, please make sure to drop a thumbs up on the video below if you enjoy the content. We are dropping multiple videos every single week, so make sure that you hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to our first 1,000 subscribers, so it would be amazing if you wanted to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you can get notified about all of these videos that we are dropping on a weekly basis to stay up to date on the rapidly moving crypto space and hit your crypto goals. So, what is DeFi or decentralized finance? Well, we're going to be looking at these various topics today and kind of breaking down DeFi through these different 6 main points, which are DeFi versus traditional finance, decentralization versus centralization, stablecoins, decentralized exchanges, lending protocols, and liquidity provision. So I think the easiest way to kind of describe DeFi is to visualize decentralized finance versus centralized finance. And with Bitcoin and the birth of cryptocurrencies, the whole premise of Bitcoin in the first place is that it is decentralized by nature. And what Bitcoin has birthed is this whole ecosystem with Ethereum and all of these other cryptocurrencies that have allowed for the creation of a decentralized financial system built on top of blockchain technology. So this new paradigm with decentralized finance is really allowing for a completely new decentralized financial system that is facilitated by smart contract infrastructure and allows for the transfer of money, borrowing, lending, earning interest, doing swaps and trades in a decentralized fashion without the need for a centralized intermediary. Comparing that to the traditional or the centralized financial system, you've got your TradFi system that operates with centralized banks and it relies on centralized intermediaries to facilitate the transfer of money, to facilitate, loans and borrowing and lending. And all of that happens by having that central bank or person or institution, have to approve that transaction or approve that loan or approve that that money that you want to send to someone else on the other side of the world. So it's a paradigm shift in how money and wealth is transferred, and it's a paradigm shift in how we can lend and borrow money, provide liquidity to markets, and trade wealth in a decentralized manner with smart contracts. So the next thing to look at is the role of stablecoins in the DeFi system, because of course we know that assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, etc. are inherently volatile by nature. And yes, you can take advantage of the volatility in those markets to, earn interest and earn money because of the volatility, and you can capitalize on that. But in order to truly create a decentralized financial system that can compete with the traditional financial system, we have to have some sort of stable pegs in order to, lend, borrow, and create these instruments that are somewhat similar to what we have in the traditional financial ecosystem. So this is where the role of stablecoins comes in. So we've got stablecoins like USDC, we've got USDT for Tether, we've got DAI stablecoin, and these stablecoins basically allow us to create these different instruments within the DeFi ecosystem, loan money and borrow against them, and they act as a way to create some form of stability in an otherwise volatile market. So we'll look at a couple of examples in a moment, but the role of stablecoins in DeFi really allows us to create that stable infrastructure to create these instruments for borrowing, lending, and transferring assets. Decentralized cryptocurrency exchanges is obviously, really at the core of what decentralized finance is all about, because with traditional cryptocurrency exchanges, we think of the likes of Binance, we think of Coinbase, we think of Kraken, etc. And yes, these are part of the, the overall cryptocurrency ecosystem, but taking that a level deeper with decentralized cryptocurrency exchanges like Uniswap, Kyber, 0x, etc., these exchanges do not hold funds on your behalf. So exchanges like Binance, Kraken, Coinbase, etc., they are holding your funds and they are acting as, an intermediary kind of, again, to hold your funds and give you the access to swapping those funds for other cryptocurrencies. So they are acting as a middleman. However, with decentralized exchanges, and we've got a diagram here to illustrate this, decentralized exchanges allow for the transfer of assets and swapping of assets through smart contracts directly. And we're going to jump into Uniswap now to take a look at that. But centralized exchanges like Binance and Coinbase operate like this, where if you want to swap USDC for AVAX, you have to send it through the exchange as the intermediary, and they give you your AVAX, or swap it for Ethereum, for example. However, with a decentralized exchange like Uniswap, you can go in and you can swap your Uniswap for USDC, and that is facilitated by a smart contract. You have your wallet, which you are the custodian of yourself. You have a wallet like MetaMask, for example, and you're the custodian and your funds are in your wallet. You simply are using a decentralized exchange like Uniswap to connect to your wallet, execute a smart contract, which transfers the Uni, let's say, for example, into your USDC, and then that USDC is added to your wallet and the Uni is deducted as a result. So we're looking at the Uniswap interface here as an example of a decentralized exchange. And as we mentioned, we've already got our wallet connected here. But what you can do is you can choose the network that you want to be operating on in terms of the decentralized exchange, and then you can select the tokens that you want to actually make a swap for. So for example, if we wanted to swap BNB to, let's say, USDT, we would select those two assets. We can then denote the amount of BNB that we want to swap for USDT, for example. It will show us that, let's say we want to swap $2 worth of BNB, which is 0.005, for $2 worth of Tether. It's connecting the wallet at the moment, but for example, this would allow us to basically click on making the swap. It's going to open up the MetaMask wallet or the associated wallet that you've connected to the decentralized exchange, execute that swap, and have those assets deposited and deducted into your wallet as a result of that. So this is where this kind of revolution of not needing a third-party intermediary comes in, and decentralized exchanges are going to play a very large role in the future of not just DeFi, but the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem in general. So the next thing that we have are DeFi lending platforms. And again, DeFi lending platforms like Aave, like Compound, like Maker, allow you to become the bank and allow you to, ultimately be in control of your assets and be in control of your lending and borrowing. And again, the whole DeFi movement essentially can be summed up as you becoming your own bank. And we're going to take a look at Aave here as an example again. And if we jump into the Aave decentralized protocol, again, we've got Aave connected to our MetaMask wallet here just for example purposes, but we're operating on the BNB chain within our wallet here. And what we can see is we've got a little bit of balance in a few of these tokens, but basically Aave allows us to borrow and also lend money and earn interest as a result. So if we're holding large amounts of USDT, for example, we've only got $4 here in the wallet at the moment, but you can see that we can earn 4.85% interest APY on our US dollar tether if we supply that to the Aave marketplace and someone else basically borrows our USDT. We are going to earn 4.85% year over year on that asset. Similar with BNB, we've got only a small amount of BNB here for illustrative purposes, but you can see that the APY is almost double that of USDT. So if we were to deposit more BNB into our wallet and make it available on Aave for lending, we would be earning an 8.25% APY on our BNB. So again, if you are someone who is wanting to accumulate assets and you're purchasing BNB or you're purchasing Ethereum or you're purchasing Bitcoin, you might want to just hold those assets for the long term. Yes, you can do that, but an additional way to earn money and earn interest on the assets that you're already holding would be to bring them into a protocol like Aave. And if you're going to be holding, let's just say 10 Ethereum, for example, worth about $30,000 at the moment, then you could have that Ethereum sitting here and lending it out and be earning interest on that Ethereum year over year because you're going to be holding it anyway. So on the other side of things, we've got the borrowing market here on Aave as well. So what you can do essentially, similar to the example we just mentioned, is you can be holding Bitcoin, you could be holding Ethereum, and you might have, again, let's just say you have 100,000 worth of Ethereum that you're already holding, and you don't necessarily want to sell that Ethereum. What you can do is you can add that Ethereum to your wallet and add it to the Aave protocol. And first of all, you can lend it out. But second of all, you can use that Ethereum as collateral in order to take out a loan or borrow money against that $100,000 worth of Ethereum. So it was letting me click into this example a moment ago. I'm just going to refresh the page here and see if it works. So we're going to connect our wallet again. So basically when this loads, or we can click on the details to find out more basically, but let's say we click on Ethereum and we're using the Ethereum example that we just mentioned. So for hypothetical scenario, we've got $100,000 worth of Ethereum. The max loan to value ratio that we can take out on Ethereum for Aave is 80%. So that means that if we have $100,000 worth of Ethereum, we could borrow $80,000 against our $100,000 of Ethereum. Of course, that would be the absolute maximum, and it would not be advisable to take out 80% loan to value ratio, because if the price of Ethereum goes down too much, your position would be liquidated. So if it reaches an 82.5% threshold, you would actually be liquidated. So it would be more wise, let's say, to take out a 40 or 50% loan to value ratio. So taking out $40,000 or $50,000 of a loan versus your $100,000 worth of Ethereum. So again, there is no approval process, or there is no bureaucracy or red tape when it comes to DeFi. If you have $10,000 worth of Ethereum, you can be taking a loan out of up to $8,000. Or again, if you were more wise, you would probably only take 40 to 50% worth of that. So this new paradigm of smart contracts and the paradigm of DeFi shows us the power with lending and borrowing on protocols like Aave. The final thing we're going to look at here is liquidity provision within the DeFi ecosystem. And liquidity provision basically comes back to this point we were making about decentralized exchanges, because decentralized exchanges are facilitating swaps between two peers. So it's operating on a peer-to-peer fashion, but there has to be some sort of liquidity in order for those two people to be able to swap two different assets if they're swapping something like Solana for Render, as the example we're going to see here. So what we're doing here is we're looking at Orca, and Orca is another decentralized exchange on the Solana chain. And what we've got here is we are actually currently providing liquidity to the trading pair for Render and Solana. And by doing that, and by providing liquidity to this trading pair on a decentralized exchange, we are able to earn a yield for doing so. So we are basically providing liquidity as a service, and we are earning a yield or a return for the fact that we are providing that yield. Because every time someone is making a swap or a trade on a decentralized exchange, they have to pay a tiny transaction fee. And that transaction fee, sometimes a small percentage of it will go to the decentralized exchange and the protocol to keep the upkeep of that protocol. But the majority of that transaction fee goes to the liquidity providers who are providing liquidity for that particular trading pair. So as we said, we are providing a liquidity here for this trading pair of Render on Solana, and we are doing that by providing concentrated liquidity in between a specific range. So we can see that the range that we're providing liquidity for is from 0.062 to 0.074 sol per render. And we can see that visualized here. So as long as the trading pair stays within our given range, we are going to be earning a yield. And this has only been operating for about 1 to 2 hours so far. And we have deployed about just under 1,400 worth of sol and render to this trading pair. And we've earned $3.65 in the space of 1 to 2 hours. Now, the beauty of this, and again, the revolution of DeFi to really bring this home, is the fact that this is a service that we're providing, and we are streaming those earns on a minute-by-minute, second-by-second basis. This can operate, and this operates in the background 24/7, and you can earn this yield while you're sleeping. You know, you don't have to be thinking too much about it in terms of what is happening with that range. However, you do need to be managing your position, and you do need to be checking in on the fact that if this goes out of range, you would need to adjust the range in order to be continuing to earn yield. But you can currently see that we are earning 1.4% every 24 hours as a yield for supplying liquidity to this particular trading pair on Orca. So again, this 24-hour yield will vary day by day, and there is a multitude of opportunities when it comes to supplying liquidity to different trading pairs on decentralized exchanges. We will be bringing a lot more videos about DeFi and concentrated liquidity and providing liquidity and showing you how you can provide liquidity and earn yields just like this. But this yield, given the amount of capital that we have deployed here, would see us earning, if it was at 1.4%, it would see us earning more than $15 every single day just on autopilot in the background. And again, you can think about if you were to stack this up even higher and be deploying, let's say, 13,000 worth of capital, you would be earning 10 times that amount, which is like $150 per day in the background 24/7. So this is the paradigm shift that DeFi brings to traditional lending and is really becoming a competitor for how we operate and think about our financials in this new paradigm and in this new world. So I hope that gives you a little bit of a sense of what DeFi is and how you can start to use DeFi to your benefit, and, you know, really understanding how we are really in the early stages of adoption here when it comes to DeFi, but also in the early stages of many of these protocols that will begin to, you know, play bigger roles in the lives of people when it comes to earning money and creating a living for yourself and creating a DeFi business, but also in terms of how you can borrow and lend money and become your own bank. That is ultimately what DeFi represents for me, is becoming your own bank and taking responsibility for your assets and how you can earn interest and borrow and lend as a result of that, taking control of your assets. So as always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to drop a thumbs up on the video below on your way out. We are on the road to our first 1,000 subscribers, so please make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you can get updated as we drop multiple videos every single week. As always, we will catch you in the next one.